Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Today feels a little different. With Derek away for a few days, it's a chance to slow things down and really look at what makes this whole operation tick. Sure, the cars still need attention, the tools still get used, and there's always something broken waiting to be fixed. But beyond the engines and rust, there's a bigger story here. Vice Grip Garage has never just been about machines. It's about people, persistence, and the journey behind it all, and sometimes, when things shift even slightly behind the scenes, it gives us a reason to pause and reflect on how it all came together in the first place. The early drive and passion. Before the cameras, before the brand, it all started with a simple love for machines. Derek grew up chasing that feeling, bringing old, forgotten vehicles back to life. It wasn't about perfection or big budgets. It was about figuring things out, getting your hands dirty, and making something run again when it probably shouldn't. That mindset carried through everything he did. Whether it was sports in his younger years or long nights working on cars, there was always that drive to push forward. He didn't just want to fix things, he wanted to understand them. And that curiosity is what eventually turned a personal hobby into something much bigger than anyone expected. The role behind the scenes. Every strong build needs a solid foundation, and behind the scenes, that role was filled by Jessica. While the spotlight often stayed on the garage work, she handled the structure that kept everything moving. Scheduling, planning, managing the business side. Those pieces don't show up on camera, but they're just as important. Before all this, she balanced her own career while supporting a growing family and a growing idea. Over time, that quiet support became a major part of what allowed the garage to expand. It wasn't flashy work, but it was steady and essential. Without that balance behind the scenes, things might not have held together the way they did. Building a life together. Their story didn't start with engines or cameras. It started much earlier, with two people figuring life out together over time. From those early days to raising a family, they built something that blended work and personal life in a way that isn't always easy. The garage became more than a workspace. It became part of their everyday rhythm. Road trips, project cars, late nights, and small wins all added up to something meaningful. It wasn't always smooth, but that's part of what made it real. Like any long journey, there were moments of excitement and moments that tested their patience, but they kept moving forward together. When passion meets pressure, turning something you love into a full-time commitment can change how it feels. What starts as fun can slowly become responsibility. Filming, editing, planning projects, and keeping up with expectations, it adds up. Over time, that constant pace can wear on anyone. It's not always obvious from the outside, but maintaining that level of output takes energy. The garage didn't slow down, but behind the scenes, the weight of it all likely grew. When something that once felt like freedom starts to feel like obligation, it naturally leads to change. That doesn't mean the passion is gone. It just means it needs space to breathe again. Stepping back without walking away. At some point, roles shift. That's a natural part of growth. Jessica stepping back from the day-to-day spotlight doesn't erase what she built. It just reflects a change in priorities. Sometimes, stepping away is about creating balance, not ending something. Life evolves, and so do the people in it. The garage kept running, the projects kept coming, but the dynamic behind it quietly adjusted. It's a reminder that not every change needs a dramatic reason. Sometimes it's simply about finding a pace that works better for everyone involved, especially when family and personal well-being are part of the equation. The cars that tell the story. If you followed along, you know the cars are more than just projects. Each one carries a story. From worn-out sedans to classic muscle, every build represents time, effort, and a bit of stubborn determination. Some come back to life easier than expected. Others fight every step of the way. That's part of the appeal. Figuring it out as you go. It's not about perfect restorations. It's about giving something another chance. And in a way, those cars mirror the journey behind the garage itself. Not everything goes smoothly, but with enough patience, progress always finds a way. Learning from the hard moments. Not every project works out. Some cars are too far gone, some problems take more time than expected, and sometimes things just don't go as planned. But those moments matter just as much as the successes. They teach patience, problem solving, and when to step back and rethink things. The same applies beyond the garage. Challenges aren't always setbacks. They're part of the process. Over time, those experiences shape how things are approached moving forward. They make the wins feel earned and the journey more meaningful. That balance between success and struggle is what keeps everything grounded. Finding a new balance. As things continue to grow, finding balance becomes more important than ever. The garage is still active, the projects still roll in, but there's a noticeable shift toward doing things with intention. It's less about keeping up and more about staying connected to why it all started. That might mean fewer projects at times or taking a different approach to how things are shared, and that's okay. Growth doesn't always mean doing more. It can also mean doing things better. In the end, Vice Grip Garage is still about bringing things back to life, just with a clearer sense of what really matters along the way.